In the world of AI, we're pretty much used to growth charts that only point in one direction, up, up, and up. So what happens when one of the biggest names in the game suddenly sees a ton of its users just head for the exits, practically overnight? We're going to break down this huge user exodus that really sends some shockwaves through the industry. Let's dive in.
1.5 million. Now, this isn't just a number on some spreadsheet. This is 1.5 million people who made a very conscious choice to walk away from a tool that, let's be honest, had become a daily habit for a lot of us.
And what's maybe even crazier? This all happened in less than 48 hours. 1.5 million users just vanished from ChatGPT. So what on earth could possibly trigger such a massive, and I mean massive, and sudden shift like that?
Well, it all comes back to a single business deal. Just one decision that became this lightning rod for all this user frustration, and well, it unleashed a backlash that had clearly been bubbling under the surface for a while.
And here it is. This is the deal at the heart of the whole controversy. OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, made an agreement to let the US Department of Defense use its AI models. And for a lot of users, that just crossed a line. The idea that the AI they were using for creative projects or for work could be involved in military applications, that was a total deal breaker. And the backlash online was, well, it was immediate.
But here's the thing. For the folks who left, the Pentagon deal wasn't just some random event. It was kind of the final straw. See, according to sources who are tracking this whole boycott, this new deal just added to a growing list of other concerns. Things like alleged company contracts with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and a reported multi-million-dollar political donation from the company's president. For this group of users, it all painted a picture of a company whose values just didn't line up with their own anymore.
And right at the peak of all this outrage, a rival company basically stepped up and presented a very, very clear alternative. This is where OpenAI's main competitor, a company called Anthropic, comes into the story.
And this slide, wow, it really lays out the two completely different paths these companies took. While OpenAI said yes to the Pentagon, Anthropic had reportedly already been faced with a similar kind of request, and they said no. They declined to give unrestricted access to the US government. All of a sudden, users had this incredibly clear choice. Two super powerful AI tools from two companies with completely opposite stances on a really critical issue. And the result? It was immediate. You can see it right here in the App Store rankings. As users started ditching ChatGPT, Anthropic's chatbot, which is called Claude, just shot up the charts. It reportedly hit the #1 spot, flying right past its biggest rival. People weren't just angry on social media, they were actually voting with their downloads. Okay, so we've covered the why of it all, but what about the how? I mean, how exactly does a user base this gigantic pack its bags and move from one AI to another so darn quickly? Well, it turns out the whole process was made surprisingly easy. So, the very first step for anyone wanting to leave was getting their data out of ChatGPT. And the process is actually really simple. Just a few clicks in the settings menu and you can export your entire chat history. This made taking all your personal data with you incredibly easy. But wait, here's the kicker. This is the wild part. Anthropic, the rival company, they didn't just sit back and watch all this happen. Oh no, they actively helped people switch. They actually published instructions with this exact prompt for people to paste right into ChatGPT. It basically tells the AI to package up all of its user-specific memories and context into one single, easy-to-copy block of code. A competitor literally handed users the keys to leave its rival. Wow. So this whole episode is so much more than just a story about two companies fighting it out. It's a signal. It's signaling a huge potential change in what users expect from the AI tools they let into their lives. And that has massive implications for the future of the entire industry. And this right here, this really gets to the heart of it. For a growing number of people, having the best, shiniest technology is no longer the only thing that matters. A company's actions, who it partners with, its ethical positions, all of that is now part of the equation. In the new world of AI, loyalty is becoming about way more than just the product. It's about the principles of the company that builds it.
And all of this leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. As these incredibly powerful tools get woven deeper and deeper into our society, we have to ask, will a company's ethical compass become just as important as its code? In the big race for AI dominance, could ethics be the new killer feature? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.